live. Welcome to the Best in Slot podcast, a Warcraft podcast by the community for the community. I'm your main host, Sparty, and I'm here with my co-host, Midgettes, as always. This is episode 18, and today we'll be talking about, ways to build your community. How are you today, Midgettes?
I'm doing great. It's Sunday evening. I've had a really quiet weekend. I'm ready to start Monday, not really.
Oh, I know. It's going to be a case of Mondays tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it exactly as much as you are, so.
Well, it was sort of nice to have a quieter week, and I got to, did really well in Agrimar progression, and so it's been fun.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, we're finally, about to hit or kill off Mythic Argus, which has, been a long time coming, and I'm glad to have that done and finish off this expansion, and then, nice quiet times for, the foreseeable future is the plan. But no, I mean, it's been quiet so far, right? I mean, it's been a quiet week or so in the community.
Absolutely. I mean, I went through the Twitters, and I went through MMO Champion, and I went through Wowhead, and I went all the news places that I go. I even went and was reading Warcraft news, and it's just like dead silence, other than, the data mining from beta, but it's not
That's
something
right.
we really want to talk about until we get in there and can really talk about what's going on.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, there is something that's awesome, and Towley, which is a fairly prominent, Warcraft figure. He's got his own NPC, so he's definitely, one of those, top tier streamers, top tier community content creators, and is done a ton of the community. He had his Twitch anniversary, so he's been streaming on Twitch for 7 years now. I think he did his first 24-hour stream. I've been subscribed to him for, I think it was 57, 58 months now. And obviously, he's been in the guild longer than that. No, it's awesome. I mean, he's been such a great role model for so many players and affected them so positively. We mentioned a while ago, he's in the, the video game Guinness Book of World Records. But no, I mean, it's awesome. I'm so happy for him. He's done a ton of the community, and now he has his own NPC. It's great.
Well, and it was fun to watch. I don't know how he did with the 24 hours. I bet he crashed hard. Now, it didn't mess with you guys' progression, did it?
No, because he did I think it was a Friday, Saturday stream, something like that. I came in there around hour 19 of his 24-hour stream, and I saw on his Twitter that he had a 10-hour nap, and he was ready to go again, later on. So.
Well, everything Tally does is in excess. He has his full birthday week, too.
Yes, I do remember Tally birthday weeks and how that has affected progression over the years. Well,
but the other
with that, with that, there's also the world first 28th, right? So as people get more gear and more experience, as some of the affixes get easier through more practice, more content, and more gear, the world first 28th was done. It was a lower Karazhan. I can't recall which affixes it was, but that's a huge deal, right? A 28 completed.
Well, and I know a lot of the guys in Wobble Gobble have been pushing them. Actually, they're going to be competing in the Proving Grounds, so we might see Zeros to Heroes, moving forward. Wouldn't that be exciting?
Oh, that'd be super exciting. I was proud of these guys and excited to see so many of us at BlizzCon, asking those Q&A questions. There was, 4 of us there. That got up to ask questions from Zeros to Heroes and DJs, and to see people in the MDIs. We have a couple of guildies as well, pushing those numbers, completing those 25s, and they're ready to go for the MDI Proving Grounds as well. So it's exciting. It starts this Tuesday, I believe. So they're going to do the preliminaries and the qualifications and all that other fun stuff. And, here's hoping for an exciting MDI. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, apparently my Raider IO score has gone up. They were telling me about it, and I said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Did it double from 1 to 2?
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, the other thing, and normally when Diablo comes out with a new season, everybody disappears, but they haven't. I think we're still doing progression and working on the MDIs, but we do have season 13 live.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, I haven't played Diablo in a while. It gets to the point where, like, I'm doing this again. I'm grinding it again for the season. What's new? And I don't know. It's different than MMOs. I think it's, the grind, you gear up and you do dungeons and you do raids and you finish the stuff and it starts all over. It feels different with Diablo, and it's not the same. And maybe it's a single player push rather than the multiplayer, community based stuff and the multiplayer interactions that you have with players in MMOs compared to Diablo. I mean, it's the same kind of repetitive actions, but it's different, right? It's a little bit different.
Well, I've never really liked it or any of them, but you guys always disappeared for like 2 or 3 weeks, but I always could count on you to come back.
Of course.
The other thing that's been going on is I know I've been leveling the allied races, and I want to commend Blizzard because they did a lot of good things. And, they didn't completely rebuild vanilla, but they have faster spawn times. They made it a lot better, so I've been having fun with just leveling. So if you haven't been out there and you want to level an allied race, it's definitely a lot of fun, and I think they've done a good job with it.
That's awesome. I haven't fully unlocked all of the allied races. I mean, I have them able to be unlocked. I just haven't completed the scenarios. How did you find a lot of the scenarios and the storyline to unlock these things?
They were a lot of fun. I don't remember which one was longer. I think it was the High Mountain Tauren, and it was almost too long. But they were good storylines. They were short. They gave you an introduction to joining the Horde or joining the Alliance. Right now, I'm doing the Horde side, so I'm doing the Suramar allied race, and I'm going to do a High Mountain Tauren. I'm probably going to do the Horde first because I haven't seen the Horde side quest, so it's been a lot of fun.
Cool, awesome. Well, with that, let's move on to the crux of some of our topics here. It's a lot of it is just community building. There were some really great tweets here. I can't recall who this one was, but it was to Convert to Raid. And Convert to Raid, for those you don't know, I mean, they're huge, right? They've been around for a while. There's multiple servers, multiple guilds, multiple teams, because it's such a huge deal. There's a tweet read, "It's amazing, Convert to Raid. Thank you for restoring my faith in the folks that in the Warcraft community and that it cares for their guildies. Great leadership, great respect, great teamwork, and a great community." And that's the kind of tweets that you often get from these guys. I mean, it's nothing but positivity, and we try to do the same kind of stuff. And there's been lots of tweets about Zeros to Heroes, and it's like, oh, thank you for the buddy birds, and thank you for an awesome community. And it's much of the same, right? We have these huge positive spawning grounds and huge positive bubbles in the Warcraft community that, I mean, everybody is welcome to be a part of, and we want people to be a part of this. But it's more than just raiding, it's the community itself, right? And that was quite evident in that tweet there. I think the biggest thing is that some of the best experiences in World of Warcraft, right, and a lot of these games, right, we touched on in the last thing, come with their friends, and we want to spend some time on how to build your community, right? You have an awesome time here, you publicly post it, hey, I had an awesome time with this community. Well, it's an MMO, right? I mean, playing by yourself or pugging with unknown Warcraft players isn't always going to be a great experience, and I'm sure we all know that. But yeah, let's talk about how to build a better community.
Well, and one of the things about the community, and I've been leveling solo just to have some solo time, and there's some fun things because you get to meet some really neat people too. But it's not the same as if you and me go off and do a quest or you kill me. Remember last beta, you killed me, you went off. I'm exploring, you went off, you killed me. I haven't forgotten that, Mr. Smallwood.
I can't remember that. Maybe you just didn't keep up. I mean, I was trying to be efficient, and I don't think you kept up.
You were being efficient, and I was exploring, okay?
Yeah. Probably got stuck somewhere.
But we want to talk about, because there's two sides to building the community. There's the leadership side and things that you can put in place for your guild members. And then there's what do you do as a member? And so often the more you talk in guild chat and things like that, you meet new people. And so how as a player can I contribute to a great community?
Well, there's a lot, right? Different guilds have different mandates. Some guilds are more community minded, and other guilds are very much, we're here to raid and that's it. And we don't really care so much about what interactions go on outside because we all have our own friends outside of the guild. And that's who we're going to play with, right? And I mean, there's no wrong or right approach to these things. with a lot of the guilds that I've been a part of, well, really the two, Zeros to Heroes and Death Jesters, community has been a huge focus, and building those bonds between players has been huge. The biggest thing is, well, is somebody a raid logger? Which means, do you just log on for raid and log off, and maybe you do your dungeon, and then you're doing other stuff? And part of it I get, like, listen, we have families, and we have real life, and we have work and school and all of this stuff, and yeah, you may not be, choosing to make the time for your community, for your groups, right? That's raid logging in a nutshell. Well, what about doing something more than just raid logging, right? We had a discussion with one of my officers about potential app a little while ago, and it was, well, this other guild's full of little soldiers, right? These little soldiers are these $15 a monthers. Like, hey, I pay my $15 a month. I'm here to raid, and you, and I'm looking at the leadership, you help facilitate that, right? I'm here to show up, do my job, and that's it, right? And that's one attitude, and it's not necessarily a wrong attitude. It's not the attitude that I really want in my guild, because I want, again, to build that community, and I think I've proven that that's going to create the longevity. If you help build those bonds and those interactions with players, well, great. That's what you should be doing, right? But there's nothing wrong with, I pay $15 a month. The guild leaders officers are there to help facilitate stuff, but if you want to contribute, there's so much more you can do outside of that, right? Like what? Like what, midgets?
Oh, I don't know. We've had so many fun things, and I was sitting here thinking while you were talking, because just simple things like when we did the screenshot when we did an achievement run together. And it was with the green mounts, the green dog mounts. I don't remember which achievement it was.
That would have been Hellfire Citadel. Yeah.
And we spelled Death Jesters. And every time I see that picture, I smile. And so sometimes it's little things, or after a raid, you go do a war game where you get to have fun. But there's so many things that we can do. And we'll talk about that on a leadership side. One of our Zeros to Heroes came to us and suggested an in-guild MDI. And I can't wait to see, because she's going...
Oh, sorry, you cut out there for a second. We may have lost midgets for a second. Oh, I think she's lagging. But midgets was saying the MDIs. I mean, we have an inter-guild MDI running, and one of our members is like, "Hey, this, the MDIs are happening. This is a great idea."
Midgets moved in from Death Jesters and Zeros to Heroes by the server.
Perfect. She's joined our server again, and so we're these MDIs are a great idea. Well, let's apply it to our own guilds. Why can't we do that? And yeah, logistically, like, it's a huge pain in the ass, but if you split up the teams here and have some fun, you may have, something really fun between your guilds, and of course, between your players. And of course, players are extremely competitive, right? And they want to be doing these things like this.
Am I back now? Can you hear me?
I think you're back. You're good.
Okay. Well, that was weird because it wasn't showing anything on my end. Yeah, so there's always something you can do. Whether it's just helping stock the raid or coming up with a great idea. And those help, because all of these events, all of the fun things that we do, take a lot of time to put together.
Oh my god. I mean, from doing Guild Survivor and everything else, it was hours and hours of work to put little events together. But at the same time, you're a member in a guild and you want to help build your community. You've got ideas, share them. Just share these ideas, right? There's nothing wrong. You're investing, a few seconds, a couple minutes of sharing these ideas with your leadership team or your members or whatever. And yeah, they're going to help facilitate and make it happen. And sometimes they have the bandwidth, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I mean, share those ideas. That's a great big thing to do.
Well, and another thing to do is say hi to somebody new, or somebody you haven't met. Because If some of those things wouldn't have happened, a lot of us wouldn't have been friends. So, for example, if I didn't send you pets all of the time, you might not have pet battled. You have quite the pet battle score. You know that, don't you?
No, I mean, I'm sure my pet battle score is better than your, Raider IO score, but that's thanks to you sending me pets. Yeah, you're right though. Like I wouldn't have gotten a pet battling bug back in World of Draenor if you hadn't sent me pets. I loved it. I was just flying around, listening to streams, listening to Netflix while I did pet battles, and I was, looking for them and leveling them up, and I enjoyed it. I love that kind of grind in the downtime that we had in World of Draenor.
Well, and if it wasn't for Jaded, I wouldn't probably be leveling allied races right now, because the main reason I'm doing them is to get all of my appearances. So I'll go through and do the quests and get all my appearances. I started with Cloth, and I'm going to work on all of them. And that was Jaded. She did so many great screenshots and had all these great outfits. And that's what happens when you get to know people and see something new.
Absolutely. And, one of my resolutions this year was, talk to a new person every day and try to build more of those connections. I did a really crappy job, honestly, and my hope is that these players listening, the Zeros to Heroes and DJs, do listen and reach out to me instead. And I'm not too busy for people. I'm never too busy for people. I will always make the time for friends and for my guild members and, for the family that we have here. Say hello to me, and maybe you can open that door, and I will ensure that door is open, going forward. But yeah, it's not about... No, go ahead.
It's not about just it's about, because sometimes I get on and I just want to do what I got to get done. Mm-hmm. And I've got to get ready for raid, and somebody's looking to do a lower key or something like that, and I'm like, no, I got to get ready for raid, and I can't. So there's a lot of times when you can't. But if you're just sitting around doing the Dalaran 500, then it's something that maybe you want to do going forward.
The Dalaran 500. This is so true, because we all do it, and I've never thought of it for the Dalaran 500. That's right. I mean, we just do laps. We do nothing, right? Like, you're bored in Dalaran and you don't want to do world quests. You're waiting for a queue or something, waiting for PvP or dungeons. You're doing the Dalaran 500. And well, what can you do in that time? Well, just go chat with somebody, right? Somebody logs on, say hello to them, right? That requires so little effort, but it makes such a huge friggin' difference, right? Just chat with people.
Say hi, how was your day? And that's where we go. But, there's the whole other side, because leadership has to be willing to have those kind of conversations and have those kind of events. So what do we do?
Well, I mean, to start off, you need to, as a leadership team, as officers, as a GM, as veterans, and then even as senior members, you need to create a culture. And this isn't an overnight thing, but you have to create a culture that appeals to many types of players. In Zeros to Heroes, we have a community-based culture, and it's not a raider-based culture. We have raiders, and we have pet battlers, and we have RPers, and we have transmog collectors, and we have people doing dungeons, and we have people doing all kinds of stuff. And that's what we've created, right? It's open to everybody. It's not just raiders, right? It's not just the 8 or 9 raid teams that we have. And you look at making all kinds of different activities that help, facilitate those things and really build on that community aspect. We've done a ton of different things, right? We've done a ton of different activities and in-game events that are more than just raiding. For instance, the most recent one that is on our Twitter and our YouTube is the Azeroth Awards. That is an awesome one. Again, brought by one of our guildies, right? It's not something that I created or Midgettes or one of our, officers. It was, hey, here's a cool idea. The Oscars are coming up. What if we do this? And I said, yes, that's a great idea. Run with it. And so this guy's short film came back and made an amazing, professionally done introduction on video. It's incredible. It blew me away, and very few things actually blow me away initially. I thought we were going to be doing our standard thing where, some pictures, some graphics. No, this was an amazing video. And the whole gist of this Azeroth Awards thing is you have any sort of movie out there, ideally famous movie, recreated in 3 screenshots. And the entries we've had so far in Guild are absolutely amazing. And I know we're going to expand this into our community here through our podcast, on Twitter and everything else. But it's awesome. I've been laughing out loud at some of these. I'm like, oh, those are some really, really well thought out entries. People, are putting together through transmogs and, looking for different terrain and scenarios, choosing which scenes. And it's been awesome so far in our Discord. The end. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I've been wanting to do it. I just can't find a movie that can do the video that short film did justice. So I've put a request out to my Twitter. Help me, give me some ideas, because I really want to participate. But I'm like, wow, this video was so awesome. I just don't even know how to compete.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not thinking maybe I should do a Baywatch movie as well because Baywatch came out recently, and that's easy. I
Well, I
mean, I've
thought for
always.
sure you were going to.
Oh no, my entry was 127 hours, and it was it was awesome. But no, we have things like the Guild MDI that we just chatted about, right? The Zeros to Heroes is putting together our own little MDI competition, and that's something that's fun within our guild. So players that may not be super competitive, or some players aren't as strong, we're gonna try to balance those teams out, I think, and make it fun for everybody else. We've done Guild Survivor. So we did Guild Survivor in World of Draenor and in. Did we do that last expansion? What was the last expansion?
For,
What
what
was the last
what
expansion?
was the last? But yeah, wasn't WoD the last expansion?
Oh, maybe. Okay, so we ran yes, we ran 2 rounds of Guild Survivor in World of Draenor, and that was a blast. So for those of you that are Survivor fans, I put this together with again mostly work from Midgettes, different events, different ideas. People were racing and solving challenges and voting their friends out with a million gold prize. That was really fun. Check it out on our YouTube. We're going to be doing another round this summer. Round 3 of Guild Survivor should be a ton of fun with Legion themed events. We've done a lot of holiday events too. We've done scavenger hunts and hide and seeks and like just a lot of little things. We've done a game night as well. So we played Mafia, did a Town of Salem recently through Ariana, and that was a huge hit from the feedback that I heard. There was You Don't Know Jack Nights, Cards Against Humanity, and that's stuff that you do with your team and with your community and with your raid team, because that kind of stuff helps build those bonds. And if you have strong bonds in your raid members, they're going to perform that much better, right? And that's something that's, that I always want to push onto our players. We've done tons of transmog runs, screenshots of fun activities, just anything. Just share fun stuff that you're doing with your team, right? You need to.
Well, and it helps make it through some of those nights where it isn't always so fun. You're having a rough time.
Yeah, and we all have those crappy nights, right? Those crappy nights where you're playing like the Edmonton Oilers and nobody wants to play for the Edmonton Oilers, even though they have some great players. But yeah, you have those bad nights, but at the same time, you want to balance it off with good nights and then doing things that are fun outside of just raiding, right? Like raiding can be a grind sometimes. Yeah, for some it can be fun. It depends on your team, but do things outside of raiding, and there's no limit, right? You can do anything you want. We do, I don't know what we do. Well, some players like to swap blast people, kill each other, and there's varying degrees of fun there. There's the whole gambling thing in game. There's betting on if Namantul is going to drop. Just even little things make a huge difference, right? And there's so much you guys can do, right? Don't be afraid of sharing an idea. Hey, here's an idea. Can we make this work? Well, maybe. What if we change something around here to make it fun or inclusive for everybody else? Done, right? Like that's kind of stuff that we want to make happen both in our guilds, and we suggest to everybody else. Just try something new. Try something new. A music contest, right? Football. We've done football pools and hockey pools as well. We've done so much outside of just raiding. You want to give people reasons to log on for things other than just raid. So the whole raid logger mentality, well, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe that's the culture of the guild, right? And you as leaders, maybe you want to build a different culture. Again, it's up to you entirely, right? I mean, and then the opposite argument is, well, what if, I just want to raid. I pay $15 a month and I'm the $50 a monther. Well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that too, right? We're here to help build community, and we want to make sure more people are playing Warcraft, more people are having fun, and more people are, again, building those friendships.
Well, look at that, because it's been successful. And I go and look at your forums, and for example, we just had a Psycho, for people who remember Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis, yes.
He came back and shared a picture of his new baby. Mm-hmm. And so you make memories. You're not just playing a game, you make memories. So by building the community and having even if your focus is raiding, because Death Jesters, even community based, their focus has been raiding for mention of this time. But you've built other reasons for them to keep in touch, and it's great when they come back and see things.
Yeah, again, we want those kind of bonds. A lot of us, are staying at the same house at BlizzCon. A lot of us, mail off Christmas cards and know each other, and we share real life events that mean a lot to us, and we go to each other's weddings. There's been a couple of them within the guild, and again, those are the bonds. Even though Death Jesters was a very private guild the first decade of its existence. we still had those bonds, and we still had those those inter-guild community events, right? They were more centered around our guild itself and help again strengthening those bonds. But that's part of the reason the guilds lasted so long, because we've done so much more than just raiding, right? So much more to do.
You know how Zeros to Heroes came to be was because Death Jesters and Sparty were doing flex runs. And so many of the members of our raid teams and Zeros to Heroes started as people who really didn't know how to raid. And they were coming to the flex runs, and they got to play with Aloria. We had a lot of fun watching Aloria life grip you. And all of those wonderful things. And that's how Zeros to Heroes grew.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember creating the guild, and it was like, you know what? We've had enough. I'm upset that you guys don't have a community. Let's create one right now. And so we did. And that community has flourished over the last couple of years. It's grown so much with such a great reputation for players. And that's what we want to be known for. Right? You got to start somewhere, right? You got to, hey, we started off podcasting. I've been wanting to do it for years. And then one day I said, you know what? I've had enough. We're going to start it right now. And we did. And now we're on 18 episodes, 18 weeks of this thing. This is incredible.
Well, let's go back to Zeros to Heroes, because that's sort of how the podcast happened too. Because you go, Midgettes, I think we should, create a community guild. And then on my, from leaving work to driving home, which takes about 20 minutes, Midgettes, we created a guild. And I'm like, Sparty, wait. And you gave me like no planning.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger and go. And here we are, right? Like it's okay to try new things sometimes. And as we're opening up Zeros to Heroes to new community members and opening up to more people rather than just Sparty viewers, we want that community to further grow, and we want it to increase, because everybody deserves a home. Everybody deserves to find a place where they like to raid, or they like to hang around with people and just enjoy their time playing this game.
Well, and it's been one of the things that we've been talking about a lot and very focused within the guild is opening it up more to continue to sustain and grow the community. And so, as with all things, you have a lot of different opinions, and it's a little rocky in the decision-making processes, but we're getting there. And everything that we do is to grow the community and sustain the community, because I expect a lot of people to come back for BFA. And it's going to, so who knows, we may have, the next time we talk, when BFA comes out, we may have 16 raid teams. God help me.
Oh, but, I know.
With different times, and we have people coming over, and it's great. But one of the neatest stories, and it just happened, was we got a new member, because one of our Zeros to Heroes members, Vol, was out, and he did really well in a dungeon, and he spoke highly of the guild. And this gentleman approached us and said, hey, I would love to be in your guild. And so we got a new member from it. So great job, Vol. And that's what we want. That's how you grow the community.
Exactly. And it's not a measure of, well, I want to bring forth an idea. It's when you bring these things to your leadership team, when you have ideas, when you want to grow, it's okay, that's yes, but under what conditions, right? Under what conditions? How can we make it work under the framework and the philosophy of the guild, and continue to grow those things? Because we're all in the we're all on the same page here. We're all in the same boat. We want things to grow, and we want to help support our teams, as well as help the teams or the guild flourish in general, right? We want more pet battlers. We don't want just raiders. We want people that are going to screw around, do dungeons, going to do fun events. They're going to do LFRs together. We want all kinds of players in our community, in our guild, and we'll make it happen, whatever it takes, right? That's exactly what we want.
Well, and Razzle V just mentioned you also have, and I'm not sure what that means, but your stream community and people who watch around your main community, and they participate when we do things with the stream too. So we have another community within the stream.
Absolutely. And who knows where that's going to go long term, right? Yeah, with classic servers coming up in probably 2 years or so, it may grow even more, and that's what I want. I want the community to grow, and it's not for the sake of the community growing. It's because I truly do want people to be happy and find a home, and that's what's going to make me happy, right? That's what I get out of it, right? It's not as if I get sub numbers, or I don't care about all this stuff. I've got a happy full-time job. I'm here to to make to make people happy, right? This is my hobby. I love doing this. I genuinely love building this community and working at it. And it takes a shit ton of effort. And Midgets knows exactly how much time and effort it all takes. But I mean, what things can you do, right, to help build this community? Right? I mean, there's the recruiting aspect, and part of it is, yeah, you know, looking for people. That's how I started this guild, Death Jesters, 13 plus years ago. It was, hey, we were doing dungeons. Hey, your name doesn't suck. You seem like an awesome person. I mean, your name isn't XX Legolas XX like everybody else. Playing a Night Elf Hunter. You want to join my guild? I mean, here's what's up about us. And yeah, and that's how we grew our Death Jesters 13 years ago, and then until we turned into a raid team and went from there. And you have to start somewhere, right? You have to start somewhere with a podcast, with a guild, whatever. And yeah, I mean, you talked about Vol and the great representative that he was of the guild. And yeah, I mean, you want things to grow, and part of it is, yeah, it's great if you ever have a known presence, right? DJ's been around for 13 years. We're a known commodity, you know exactly what's up, right? But again, if your guild hasn't been around for 13 years, you got to start somewhere. It's never too late to start. You know, we started Zeros to Heroes a couple years ago. I wish I started it 6-7 years ago, or when I started streaming, and it would have been even larger. But you got to start somewhere, and you know, there's lots of ways.
Almost 3 years. We're getting ready to do an anniversary, not too much longer.
Oh man,
a couple
3
months.
years. That's
3
good.
years.
And there's lots of ways to help facilitate that growth, right? Whether it be through streaming or social media or just talking about it, right? There's Twitter. Like, we do tons of advertising through whatever social media channels we have to help support our guilds, and that's what we want to do, right? We've done a lot on the forums and on YouTubes and a little bit of everything, and there's nothing wrong with capitalizing on different streams or audiences to help build your community. That's exactly what you want to do.
Well, and first you want to see what the direction you want your community to go on. And one of the things that for 13 years Death Jesters has been known for is helping. Mm-hmm. And it pays off. But what it takes people with like minds and getting together. And we have great people that go out and represent us every day. And we're lucky. We have a thriving community. When you get online, there's always somebody on. And sometimes, contrary to some of our raiders' belief, they're not raiding. But, you know, there are other things to do. And I think it's something that the community should be proud of and you should be proud of. So
yeah,
congratulations.
For sure. No, I mean, it's great, and it's a testament to the players that we have in the guild. People often say, hey, Sparty, you know, I've tried playing a Holy Paladin now. I love it. You know, thanks for all your tips and your coach's corners, or I've helped, you know, create a guild here. Thanks to all your suggestions. Listen, don't put all that positive onus on me. You should pat yourselves on the back for trying, right? You need to put in the effort to try and do it, right? That takes a lot of balls and a lot of courage to try things, because sometimes you might fail, and there's nothing wrong with failing, right? That's how you learn. Failure is our best teacher. But you have to go out and try. Well, I mean, to sort of wind this down and get to our, you know, our Sparty soapbox, I've been playing this game for 13 years now, over 13 years. Done a high-end rating and high-end PvP and everything in between. But why am I still playing this crap? I mean, this great Warcraft game. I mean, I've got a family and a daughter and a wife and a stream community and 2 guilds to run. Right, I've been trying to quit Warcraft since AQ40. I've been trying to quit. I said it to myself I was done 11, 12 years ago, but I never wanted to let my guild down, right? I mean, but why am I spending all this time doing stuff when so many others have said, hey, real life trumps everything? And yeah, it does, right? But why am I still here? You know, is it some kind of attachments or what? I think a lot of it is, it's a community that makes this game fun. It's the people, right? It's loving who you raid with and still being competitive and doing your best, but having a good time while you're doing it. I mean, it's a game, right? This is a video game, right? You know, why you have to be mad? It's just a game. It's a game, yes, but it's a passion, right? It's a game that we have a passion for. And the thing you'll remember isn't necessarily the first kill, right? The first kill you do, or the last kill, or how many attempts. Do I remember whichever tier it was, where we were US 33rd, or was it a US 45th kill? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it was a good kill. We got it at a good time. It doesn't really matter, right? What I do have fond memories of were the wipes and the jokes and the fun stuff we did with each other. And you mentioned, doing the we did the Glory of the Hellfire Raider, and we all had those green dog mounts, and we spelled out our initials, or spelling out zeros to heroes, right? That's kind of stuff that I remember. That's the kind of stuff that I will remember. It's those little memories. Right? I remember my first Broodlord Lashlayer kill in Blackwing Lair 12 years ago, however long it was. We did it with 23 people. We undermanned that boss because, I don't know, 10 of them were DC'd or dead or whatever. But we did it with 23 people, and that I remember. But it's the people that make a difference. There's people behind that computer screen. It's not just, pixels. There's more to it than that. And those are the people that make your community great, right? Those people that are contributing, that are cracking jokes, even the ones that are just showing up all the time. Those are people that are helping make everything awesome. It's the people that are making jokes, or people that are making videos, or helping with extracurriculars in the guild, from mafias to whatever else, right? Those people make such a huge difference in your community. It's those people that hopefully uphold your guild integrity and contribute to the community through their effort and ideas. And some of the best memories I've had, again, in 13 years is not just killing these bosses, but it's the cool things we've done. The guild survivors, right? Those were a ton of fun. The community raids, the mafia games. 10 years down the road, I'm not going to remember, how many attempts it took to kill boss this, or what rank we were right here, but it'll be the other things that I remember. And that's what I remember from, again, 10 years ago, the fun stuff that we did. And I've always appreciated when people follow the following philosophy. It's ask not what your guild does for you, but what you can do for your guild. Right? That old JFK quote. And at the end of the day, join a community that fits your needs, right? For raiding, for PvP, for whatever else, right? It's finding that home, right? Find that home. I guarantee that home, wherever it is out there waiting for you. Am I still playing this game because it's such an awesome game and, it's a lot of new content? I mean, I think it's the people, right? It's the people that keeps me coming back day in and day out, and that's the reason why I'm still putting in all the long hours that I am now.
Me too. I second that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's, again, it's find that home, it's out there for everybody, right? It's long-term people, everything. Zeros to Heroes is open to everybody. Come join our community. See if that's your right home. See if we can make it your home, right? It's as much as you put into a guild, that's how much you'll get out of it as well. That's good. That was a good wind down to our last episode. Don't cry, Sparty. No.
Well, you have in here that you didn't mention. Did you know that Zeros to Heroes is open to everyone?
It is. You mean not just raiders? It's open to everybody?
Yeah, it's not just raiders. Well, you let midgets in. What? I'm working on 5 years here.
Oh, well then. Well, what if I'm a new player and I listen to your podcast, Midgets, and what Sparty just said hit me right in the feels, and I would love to join Midgets' Guild? What then? What do I do?
Reach out to us. You can find us on social media. You can come to Storm Rage and whisper our veterans. You can talk to just about anybody. They'll figure out a way to get you to Zeros to Heroes. We just had a recent Twitter follower who said, I miss my home. I guess he was a friends and family and DJs years ago. And I said, well, you have to talk to Sparty. And he goes, oh no, Sparty, I never said a word. He was always, this guy I just really looked up to. But he's now back with us, and he came because of a friend. And so we just continue to grow. And we want to have everybody here doing whatever they want. And we want to try to accommodate as many people as we can. And for our raiders out there, that means we need to get them some more raiders. So would you get them some more raiders? And for our casual people, we need to do more fun things. I still need an idea for the Azareth Awards. And that's where I'm going to leave it.
Fantastic. And so as we wind down our stream, the last couple of weeks we covered the topic of toxicity in the community.
Are we going to say anything else, or did we just stop?
No, we're still going.
Oh my God.
Midgets. We talked about toxicity in the community the last couple of weeks. It's a bit of a disjointed message. We did want to bring some other participants and other viewers, other people from the other side of the spectrum onto the show. Just with logistical challenges, we are going to get some other people on the show to sort of wrap up that whole theme and segment, probably in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll have a nice roundtable discussion with some new players. But other than that, thank you guys for listening and watching our podcast. Again, it's #BuddyBirds for those of you looking to get your heroic Argus kill. Get your Buddybird done. If you have suggestions, questions, ideas, you love Sparty, you want to be part of this guild, or you just hate Sparty, that's fine too. I love hate mail. We always want to hear your thoughts. Email us at bestinslotpodcast@gmail.com or tweet us. Otherwise, thank you guys for listening. From myself and Midgets, have a good night. Be excellent to each other. And as always, live your life heroically.